What up, though? What up, though? Welcome to the Player Exchange, man. Exclusive on Athlazon. That's at Athlazon, at Player Exchange. Listen, today we got a treat for y'all. We coming big state champions. Big state champions. But before we get into that, I'm Steph, host Merle.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Man, happy to be here, man. Like you said, we got special guests, man, you know. Did it real big for the city, man. City of Southfield, man.
Oh yeah. We gotta give a good introduction. So I'm gonna try to do my best Nori impersonation. You know what I'm saying? So okay, we got Adler alum.
Yes.
You feel me? Bernie alum. Big Brother Rice. Youngstown State.
Yep.
Back to the crib. Southfield. First coach in Southfield history to win a state title. Division I state title, might I add. Coach Aaron Marshall.
Appreciate y'all, man, for having me. Appreciate it.
You know, we big fans of y'all. You know, we follow y'all, be at all y'all games.
For
you
sure.
Know what I'm saying? So, for a lot of reasons we'll get into, you know, this was big for us and for the city and, like we were saying earlier before we started, across the whole nation.
No doubt.
So, you know, first to start off, man, about that game, man. Let's just start with the game, man.
Okay.
Man, y'all slayed the Tigers, man. Y'all beat up the bully, man. You know what I'm saying? You beat up the bully, man. You know, that's all I can say, man. It's a hell of a game. You know what I'm saying? Great coaching. What was you thinking going into that game?
So, you know, it's I did an interview after we had B. West Bloomfield in the semis, right? And they had asked me, you know, what you think about Belleville, because they had won before we had won, right? So they knew that it had been us and them. I think that game was over already. And so I said, you know, honestly, all I see is the highlights that y'all post. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I saw highlights and they look amazing. You know what I'm saying? But I said, but I'm going to dive into the film and, you know, I'll be able to give you a way better synopsis. You know what I'm saying? So after me and my staff watched film, man, we had a lot of games on them. And so after we watched film on them, it was evident they was definitely a powerhouse. Like, I mean, that was, you know, they got talent at every position. But what also stood out was outside of week one when they played River Rouge, nobody else could match their speed and athleticism, right? It was like painfully obvious when we watched film. You know, and as a coach, you look for that, right? You look for what can be our edge or what can be our, you know what I'm saying, especially with a team that's so talented. So again, my D coordinator, my O coordinator, they put together phenomenal game plans, and we kind of let the boys know, you know, we watched a lot of the River Rouge game. And you know, the thing about that is that was week one. Right, so that was a long time ago, right? So Belleville gets better. Everybody get better since week one. So they're a different team, but when it comes to athleticism and speed, they're the same team.
Yes, sir.
Right, understand? Yeah. So we were able to watch that game and kind of put together a real good game plan of what we do, you know, kind of based on the things that got exposed during that River Rouge game, if that makes sense. You know, we also knew that when you got a 38-0 record, you're not gonna change up a lot, right? I wouldn't. I mean, be honest with you, I guess I really wouldn't change much if I won 38 games straight, right?
Broke, don't fix it.
So what we knew was they was gonna be who they was.
Right.
We knew we wouldn't see no wrinkles. We weren't gonna see no new stuff. Where we knew on the flip side, you know, we had to play our ball, you know, but also kind of show some stuff they ain't seen, if that makes sense. 'Cause I know they got all our films as well. So it's a little chess game a little bit. So. We watched so much film, man. Our boys had such a great week of practice. Shout out to Country Day. We was able to rent out the indoor. So we practiced inside the whole week just to get that indoor feel, which was huge as well.
Yes, sir.
And they just created another environment for our boys to get excited about practice. So we had a great week of practice, which set us up for that win, man.
That's those little things that happen.
Yeah.
Man.
That's big. You can see watching the game in the first quarter coming out.
Yeah.
The way y'all came out, I said they had a great week of practice. You know what I mean? Because y'all came out firing, and then y'all defense came out with stops, and that hasn't always been the case in your tenure there. The defense sometimes don't come up, and then, you know, you got to rely on that quarterback. I always say, man, you can't always win. We always got to rely on magic to be magic every game.
No doubt.
Sometimes everybody else got to do their job a little bit better, so you can't put that much pressure on them.
Agree.
But this playoffs, that wasn't the case. Like the Chippewa Valley game, I seen y'all start to gel. Y'all was clicking on all cylinders. The defense was coming up with big stops, big three, getting that pick towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
Y'all got six back. He was playing good defense as well as on offense. Then going into the West Bloomfield game, revenge game for y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kicked they back in, got y'all licked back, so to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then so I saw that a lot about football, just like in the NFL, is who get hot at the right time, who peak at the right time.
Absolutely.
You know, 13-1 record is not like y'all had any losses besides the West Bloomfield loss.
Correct.
But it was just the way y'all was winning. It was like, okay, we winning, but it ain't.
Yep.
In the playoffs, it just seemed like, okay, everybody started to buy in. I can see it. So speak to a little bit about that. What changed during that playoff
So in the season, man, we had, we got banged up a lot. And, we don't really talk about it. We're not an excuse-making team, so we just next man up mentality. But that's the reality, though. The reality is we wasn't full staff in the middle of the season. JT got hurt, which I think he the best corner in the state. He the one going to Kansas with my nephew Isaiah. Matthias Davis got hurt. He was out. He got hurt probably about week 4, playing on the bum ankle. Really twisted his ankle first series of West Bloomfield game. And he's a big key number 7. Right. He didn't want to run it back in DN. I mean, he didn't want to got so many pressures, got a lot of touchdowns in the playoffs. So we regained him as far as being real healthy as soon as the playoffs started. Right, that kind of ankle healed. And so us not being super healthy, there were some games where, it was just, hey, let's do what we got to do to survive and get out here with this W, right? Like, we know we can win, but let's not be too fancy. Let's go ahead and get out here with the W because that's what mattered, because we was down a lot sometimes. Juwan Jerry, number 6, he didn't play a lot of regular season games. He was hurt. He didn't play in the state championship game.
Yeah.
He had a deep thigh bruise. So if you pay attention to that West Bloomfield game, the series before the last series, he was out there.
Yeah.
Played the whole game, DB and receiver. He got hit with a helmet to the thigh, had a deep thigh bruise. He wasn't on that winning drive at all because he was put out the series before that. It was only
that receiver screen.
That's it. So again, and then he tried to come back, the week of the state championship, but bounced back. But long story short, it just didn't happen. But we were injured, which anybody, that's football, right? Like football, you're going to have injuries. You got to adapt. And again, I'm hats off to my coaching staff because they did just that, right? They put us in a position when we had some pieces missing to make it where we want. And to your point, we got everybody back. It was like almost unbelievable, that Dearborn-Fortson game, the first round of playoffs. Everybody kind of became healthy. And we had a great game plan versus them as well, and we just was rolling. We literally was rising to the top every single playoff game we went to, and hitting our stride at the right time.
Oh yeah.
What's the kid you said that replaced Jared?
That's the thing too. Speaking of what you were talking about, who stood out to me that whole championship game, because we already know who the stars are, what they're going to do.
Yeah.
12, Demario Corliss had a big game. I was like, that's an unsung hero. Him.
Listen.
Reggie, 58.
Yeah.
He ain't no unsung hero. I mean, I've been watching him get pressures all day. Him and 7 they get home every game.
They goons. Yeah,
they goons. They get there.
Sure.
But 12, I'm talking about offense and defense. I said that's where 6 would have been.
100%.
I see him coming up, that pick he would have had in that end zone.
Yep.
He came up with some big third down conversion catches for y'all. That was like, that would have been a turnover, had to punt.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or go for a long 4.
Yep.
I mean, he showed up big, and they was taking some hits because Belleville was out there laying the hat.
For sure.
So, I mean, him and obviously Tashi hanging on to that rock, man. I'm like, I was proud of him on the sideline. I'm like, that's football players.
Agreed.
Excuse my language, that's football players.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So speak to that, like how those guys stepped up.
So yeah, man, Demario Corliss, man, phenomenal. Like all playoffs, he been like that. And honestly, all year, he actually leads the team in interceptions. So when we go our dime, or our nickel, he come in off the bench. So he was actually without being down, Jalen Todd, again, one I think is the number 1 corner in the state. Him and Wendell, that's going to number 4, that's going to Eastern.
What up?
Yeah, and then so him and then JT, and then again with JT being hurt, then Juwan being hurt, who would go in for JT, we got to bring in our 3rd string corner, right, which was Demario. The good thing about Demario, man, he's real big off, like, you got to feed his confidence.
Right.
So because he played receiver and he was eating, putting him in at DB, he was turned. He
felt like I'm him. Yeah.
That's it. So he made some big plays, like you say, some big third down catches. He had the first catch of the game, very first play of the game.
Sure did.
Isaiah hit him in the flat, got that first down out the gate. Stuff like that, man. Momentum gets you going. So he was a part of the game the whole time, but he been stepping up all year. He had that big pick for Chippewa Valley when they tried to throw that post before half.
Right.
And we intercepted that post. That was him. Then we came back and threw that touchdown to Savi before the half, like 18 seconds left or whatever it was. So, but no, we definitely, and that's one thing I tell people all the time. One thing we never lacked at Southfield, this is my 9th year being there coaching, 3rd year as head coach, is athletes. Like, we never lack athletes. We might have our years where we got the big fellas we need, which is win games ultimately, but we never lack talent, like athleticism. So DeMario is one of them cats that, again, he's an athlete that started at receiver, but we need him at DB. He jumped right in. We didn't skip a beat.
Yeah, them receivers got to be willing to play DB, man.
For sure.
You know, especially if you go to the next level. Most receivers, y'all end up DBs. That's just how the game goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this guy, Reggie Gardner, man, number 58, man, listen.
Man.
He was the most dominant lineman in that state championship game. I mean, offense and defense. I mean, you know, he did everything y'all needed him to do, man. What made y'all put him in the backfield as that lead blocker, man? That's a crazy formation, man. What was up with that, man?
Man, listen, my old coordinator, Coach Pop, he said, you know when we'd be really dangerous is if we put Isaiah with 2 fullbacks and Isaiah at quarterback, because then that leaves us with 3 wide receivers. So now defense got to play us honest. You still got to play your coverage. But Isaiah, who's essentially the best running quarterback in the state of Michigan, the numbers don't lie.
Hands down.
Right?
Hands
so
down.
now what do you do? Right? Because as soon as, this offer line, we keep it simple. We got a KISS method, keep it simple Southfield. Right? So
I like that. Oh, say that one more time.
Keep it simple Southfield. KISS.
Keep it simple.
Kiss the ring, baby.
That's it. Right. So we don't try to stick square pegs in round holes. So we come out in that formation, which can be a run formation because Isaiah can run, but also can be a pass formation because 3 wide receivers. So you got your 2 safeties. Pay attention to the film. You got your 2 safeties high. We're going to go ahead and run that pill.
Right.
You bring those safeties in the box, we're going to throw that pill because we had 3 D1 wide receivers, especially when we had Smoke healthy. It's Xavier Bowman, D1 offers, Tashi Bracewell, Toledo commit, and Jawan Jared, the best slot in the state.
Yeah,
so please bring them safeties in the box. And then you guys you want to throw to them. So we're going to try to put you in a position that's uncomfortable. Again, that's shout out to my old coordinator, came with that formation. He's like, let's put Reggie Gardner back there, who's a bull, with another lineman, and let's see what they do. In all playoffs, we've been riding that formation, and nobody has ever had an answer for that formation the entire playoffs.
It's about it's a copycat league.
For sure.
You know, hey, listen. I don't know where he got it from, but that's excellent coaching in football. You know what I'm saying? To have that confidence in the game plan, man. That's just smart football, man.
For sure.
It's such smart football made me mad because I used to say this to my old dude all the time about the battleship. Like, if we can run the same blocking scheme out of something of a spread so we can keep them honest and not have 9 and 10 in the box.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And real quick, though, let me continue about Reggie Gardner on the defensive side because that's what he is.
That's what he's a D lineman.
Listen to me, man. So we got 3 cats on that team that started since freshman on varsity. Isaiah Marshall, Tashi Bracewell, and Reggie Gardner.
Okay.
Reggie Gardner came from the Southfield Falcons with Tashi and Isaiah. I've never seen a lineman as a freshman start on varsity. He started from day 1, every single game on varsity as a true freshman at Southfield A&T. If Reggie Gardner was 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", he'd have every offer in the country. His nickname is Reggie Donald, like Aaron Donald. That's what we call him in Southfield.
He just said it. He just said that.
I'm so happy Eastern got him because it's a good fit. Like
100%.
You know what I'm saying? He get the moves, all the way right. It's over because he got the pad level.
That's
He's
it.
strong as an ox.
And he quick.
And
he quick. Every camp, so coaches will come through, they'll look at his film, and it's so funny because it's like, well, then it's back when he's sophomore, junior. I'm like, Coach, what are you waiting on? I get it, he's 6 foot. Right. Look at the tape, though. They're like, Aaron, I'm with you. They said, just do me a favor. Bring him to camp. Get him on campus. Every camp he's went to on campus, I said, but listen, when I bring him on camp, you got to have the best lineman that you already offered there, too, though, or I'm not bringing him. Right? I took him down to Ball State. I said, put your best lineman up because he's going to kill everybody, but I don't want him to kill a dude that just paid money to come to this camp. I want him to kill the dude that you just offered, right, that you think is really good. Mm-hmm. He annihilates him. Offer on the spot, Ball State. This back was he's going into his junior year. Like that's who he is. But, again, he's 6 foot. So the measurables ain't there, and I'm sure you can get a 6'4" guy somewhere around the country that's just as good, but he different, man. Like his explosion. He the strongest kid on the team, like in the weight room. He's a 3-sport athlete that played D-line. He plays basketball, runs track, and plays football. I've never seen a D-lineman play 3 sports in my life. Yeah. Like this dude is a freak, but he's 6 foot.
Right.
So again, man, Reggie Gardner, man, is special. He committed to Eastern Michigan.
My dog.
Yeah.
Man.
So Eastern Michigan got one. Like when I'm telling you, they got one. They got one.
They got one, man. Eastern always, put out some type of lineman. Jay
No doubt.
Jones, Max Crosby.
Yes.
Max, he the best D in the league to me.
He's a savage, bro.
So, that's tough, man. What you got for us, though?
Man, I don't know. As I'm listening to you, Coach, I really the thing sticking out to me a lot is, you remind me kind of like Mike Tomlin. You know what I mean? Just being around your program a little bit, people might see the outside in like, oh, he's stern, he kind of disciplined, he's a real disciplined guy with the kids. But I see you in the locker room giving those halftime speeches, those post-game speeches, whether you guys win or lose. You're always very positive, uplifting, building these kids up, especially at a program like Southfield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where Southfield's not a private school like Cass, Renaissance, and King.
Right.
Or like deep in the suburbs where, because of the distance barrier, they're not getting certain kind of kids. You smack dab in the middle, you getting everything.
Yeah.
So you got to deal with everything. How was that dealing with all that? And when I say all that, I mean the off-the-field pressures and problems, the on-the-field pressures and problems, whether it be in the classroom, whether it be in school or off, or on the practice field, like, kids, not doing right or doing right, how you motivate them. And also because of the world we live in now with NIL and
For sure.
all this attention, all this social media, they parents.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's a lot to deal with. So how do you deal with all that?
So, man, I'm going to say, like, we got a saying around the football program, like, we the most hated school, we think, in the state, because the city don't like us because we the suburbs. The suburbs don't like us because we resemble the city, if you understand what I'm telling you.
100%.
Right? So Southfield is literally the most hated school in the state. We know this. That's why our saying is, y'all don't know if you ever heard my speeches. I in every speech with we all we got, we all we need. Right? And I mean that. Because we ain't getting no support from anybody outside the city of Southfield. So, it's a blessing, man. That's how I look at it. And our boys embrace that. I got a phenomenal group of kids, and moreover, my senior group, right? I did a podcast yesterday, and I told them, I don't care if you're Nick Saban, I don't care who you are. Any championship you've won, you had a phenomenal senior class. Like, I guarantee it. Like, there's not a coach in America that can win off just him, right? Like, you have to have a group of kids and turn the team over to them, right? So I turned the team over in the middle of the season to my seniors. I didn't do no more disciplining, right? They had did something one day in practice where they came out lethargic. They wasn't going hard. A couple kids came out the locker room late. Like, what was you doing? And it was uncharacteristic, but we was 4-0, 5-0. They was feeling themselves. I said, so I ended practice early. I said, let me tell y'all something. I'm done disciplining. Like, I'm not gonna make nobody run. I ain't gonna make nobody sit out no quarters, no halves. I'm done. If this senior class is going to allow X, Y, and Z, then you won't win a state championship. I got 2 of them. I won 2 in high school at Mount Carmel. So, and by the way, I went to Brother Rice first 2 years.
Right. Then
went to Mount Carmel, Chicago, won 2 state championships right later. But nonetheless, I told them I won mine. I played already. I can't play on Friday night. So seniors, you got to make a decision. Do you want to win or not? So if you allow your homeboy to show up late, to have blue socks on, we should have white socks on, to go late to class, you see him in the hallway, you don't say something to him, then y'all not gonna win, right? Our other motto is TLT, the little things, right? We got 2 mottos, wit and TLT, whatever it takes in the little things. So if you're not coaching the little things as a senior and leading, then we doing this for nothing, right? We're gonna lose again like we did last year to Cass, second round of the playoffs, right? But if you take care of the little things, you'll beat Cass twice like we did. So the seniors really bought in, man. And when I'm telling you, it was the most beautiful thing in the world, me coming out my office in the school, watching my seniors police the entire team. We start 4 or 5 sophomores on the O-line, D-line. People don't understand that. We got some babies up front. We graduated 6 seniors between the O-line and D-line last year, right? Aaron Bradley went to Eastern. Nate went to Central State. We graduated some real good, Xavier, some real good O-line, D-linemen last year. We was young up front. So they had to mature quick, right? And it's not just about athletically, they had to mature mentally. So again, just to what you're saying, around the city, around the school, we had a phenomenal senior class that made everybody grow up. We got 29 seniors, the most that I've ever seen at Southfield. I've been there 9 years. 29 seniors is a lot of seniors, and they mature. So we had a very mature football team. I always compare it to you see the NCAA tournament, and you will see a team that make it far, and you're like, that team wasn't supposed to make it. And then the announcer will say, they start 5 seniors. And you're like, oh, that's why. because they mature.
100%.
Right, like that's literally like why we're so good. Like it ain't me, man. Like I install some things and change the culture, but if I had a senior class that was immature or not willing to lead, we wouldn't have did what we did. But these boys is willing to take over the program and buy in and show everybody else what it's about.
Yeah, what you just said, I'm thinking of 2-6 3 years ago, then 8-3 2 years ago, and this year 13-1.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Proof is in the pudding.
That's it.
It got better every year, bought in every year. And then I'm thinking of all those high-scoring games y'all had, right?
Yeah.
But like Clarkston last year, what was it, 58, 62, something crazy like that?
Yep.
And then y'all come back and pop Clarkston this year. West Bloomfield didn't beat them at all the whole time.
Yep.
Playoffs, end up winning that game.
Yep.
That's all what you say. That's a testament to you, your coaching staff, and like you said, that senior leadership.
Yeah.
Because every game I've been to of y'all's, and there was a guy from the MHSAA, I can never say that right in a row. But anyways, dude told me, I'm a Belleville 40, I'll spot 40. So you must never watch Southfield. You must have never watched Southfield A&T Warriors play no football. One thing I'm gonna do is put up points, but one thing I do know, if 8 got the ball last, you might as well pack your stuff and go home.
No doubt. No doubt.
Period. Sure. So to see y'all ice it and get the ring this year, right? That to me is the combination of everything you said about the senior leadership, about them taking over, because you could tell they kind of stepped up to the plate, took the challenge, took some ownership over all that.
And let me tell you a stat. My old coordinator, he was like composing everything into the season. And he texted me yesterday at 6:40 p.m. I'm reading the text to you. He said, just went through our season. We had 6 no-error game-winning scoring drives. So out of 6 games this year, we needed number 8 and that O-line and the receivers that we talked about and everybody else to win the game. Cass, 57-yard drive. Clarkston, 42-yard drive. Harper Woods, 70-yard drive. Groves, 69-yard drive. West Bloomfield in the playoffs, 80-yard drive. Belleville in the championship, 69-yard drive to win the game. We were losing before every single one of those drives this season to win the game.
They literally did Shador, the good part of Colorado season. Like, the beginning. Not the man. Shout out to Prime, he gonna get it together. But the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really did the Shador and the J.C. Horn and all them. Like that's literally how y'all look.
For sure.
Every game all year. 4 minutes and 47 seconds left. Championship game. What you thinking?
So listen, they scored. I tell people as a coach, you don't want them to score, but you also got to look at the whole game. Like we got a real big, good play, bad play, next play. Like we got amnesia for real. It's almost like crazy. Maybe we should dwell on some negative stuff a little more, but that that's maturity though. Like you dwell on the negative stuff. How good is it gonna help you? So
y'all scared me the way y'all play. It's almost like y'all want to be in the corner.
Listen, look, it's funny. Hey, listen.
Y'all stop doing this every week.
And so people come to me. My wife be like, "What? Why again? Like, why not blow?" I'm like, "Babe, I did not want. I don't want to raise my blood pressure either." Right. But it happened. So anyway, so in the game, Belleville scored. Momentum all on their side. They just got an interception. They just scored and went up. They crowd rocking. I had my headphones. I took them off. I walked to Isaiah. I said, it's 4 minutes and something left. I'm laughing. I said, it's like 4 minutes. Like, I'm laughing. Like, why did he score so quick? I said, what else would you want? He looked at me with a straight face. He said, I wouldn't want nothing else. I said, I already know. Went to Coach Pop. I said, don't get it all back at once. Milk this in the game. Just quote unquote, bro. Milk this in the game. He said, for sure. He dialed up every play that's drive, left my man 40-something seconds left, wherever it was.
Man, that drive, I'm on the sideline, and this guy's telling me, man, why they keep just running the ball? I'm like, this perfect. They went from the 50 to the 20 at the time. They like, man, you just want them to run the ball because you ran the ball a lot in high school. I'm like, no, man, look, the clock ticking. It's perfect in football. You got the other quarterback on the sideline getting cold.
That's it.
Y'all kept their offense on the sideline a lot.
Right.
Whatever y'all did, whatever the game plan was, it was perfect. Just like you said, Isaiah said, he was ready for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And y'all powerhouse them boys out in the field. You know what I'm saying? It was surprising to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're a powerhouse, so y'all stepped up to that challenge. It was like, man, we going for the knockout. You know what I'm saying? So to go for the knockout in a heavyweight fight like that, it means something. Y'all went and took that belt, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't given, it was earned for sure. So,
no doubt.
Man, shout out to everything y'all told them boys, because like I said, that's for the city of Southfield, you feel me?
Yeah, appreciate it.
Y'all got Southfield Lathrop and Southfield High, you know, they act like the Bloods of the Crips. Y'all got beeves on the internet with the flags tied, you know what I'm saying? With the lashes tied.
I saw that.
You done brought the whole city together, you know what I'm saying? I can't even talk junk to Southfield no more when I salute to them.
Hey, look, y'all that don't know anything about it, if you wasn't alive around that time, it was some big riots in L.A. back in the day, and it was so bad that the Bloods and the Crips decided to be friends. It was called the Peace Treaty.
Yeah.
I mean, I know y'all new kids, Generation X or wherever, Z, E, F, Y, H, J, K, I don't know what y'all are now, but y'all probably should look that up, because they were sworn enemies. And red and blue came together, you know, and, man, you did that for us, man, because even going back to, like you said, going to Bernie or whatnot,
yeah,
you were a Jayhawk, correct?
For sure, 100%.
Right. Well, you know, we Falcons over here. You know.
It's all right.
So you know.
It's okay. It's all right.
No.
Right.
6 tubs on y'all in the game. You know. Y'all might have put me in Brother Rice. I just said I ain't want to go to private school. The biggest thing we've always said since Southfield Sports has ever been around, since the Falcons and Jayhawks have ever been around, if you could keep the Falcons and Jayhawks together, you will win a ring. Right?
So to your point, bro, so I grew up again. I really wanted to go to Southfield, man. My parents made me go to Brother Rice, and I ain't mad at the decision now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But my mom was education. You know, but we got options in Southfield now where if it was today, I'd have went to Southfield. But nonetheless, all my boys growing up, they always would say that, because Lathrop would have great years. Southfield would have great years, whether it was basketball, football, whatever the sport. And it was always utter, like, what if there was just one school? Like, how dominant would we have been in the city of Southfield if there was just one school? And now we got that. So I owe a lot of the credit to that, too. All the talent in Southfield that stay in Southfield pours into Southfield A&T. So that's a phenomenal, thing for us as coaches. Like I said, we don't lack athletes. We might lack big fellas sometimes, like a Reggie Gardner only come around once every, you know what I'm saying? But as far as some athletes and skill, I got so much young bulls on the JV that's salivating. Especially after seeing this. Yeah. They coming to me now in school over this last week, coach, when we start weight room. I'm like, whoa, slow down. We ain't doing nothing till after New Year. I'm exhausted. Like but they serious. Like they like, coach, it's my turn. Like we graduating every receiver. We're graduating every single wide receiver. We do not have one coming back. Now, everybody was a senior. Tashi, Savi, Jawan, DeMario, all of them were seniors. Number 18, that's my young bull, the junior, Taiwan.
He came up big in a couple games y'all had during
Taiwan
the season.
had that catch versus West Bloomfield for the scene for the touchdown was huge.
Sure.
No, he a young bull.
He is for sure. For sure, a young bull. So it's like, what is it like having the best receiving core in the state, though?
It feel good, man. And again, that's pick your poison. Do you want our running backs and our quarterback to run the ball, or you want to stop these dudes? And so again, we took what you gave us all year. Our old coordinator never tried to fit a square peg in the round hole, and because you got to do one or the other. And for the majority of the year, people try to take away the pass, right? Because that's the big play. As a defense, right, in football, don't give up the big play, right? That's like uttered all over every level from little league to NFL. Don't give up the big play. So teams will play us too high, sometimes 3 high, depending on the team, to keep the defense in front of them. So we just dink and dunk and take what you give us. But then as soon as you walk down, or as soon as you arrogant like some teams, we can run with y'all. We're going to sting you over the top. Yeah. So we really took what teams gave us all year, man, and executed it. So it worked out.
So take a second real quick, because you touched on Tashi.
Yeah.
And Tashi's special, man. Like, for the last couple of years, it'll be, y'all get to the red zone.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I stood in the corner of y'all end zone and said, the fade coming. I didn't told the DB, that's what they doing.
Yeah.
That's what they doing.
Yeah.
And y'all do it. And then come back right after the touchdown and 2-point conversion, do the same thing over again. Like, you can't stop.
No.
And he seems so humble, though. Just like a hard-working, humble kid.
Yeah.
Toledo he almost reminds me like Andre Johnson. Remember Andre Johnson played for Miami and then Andre Johnson could have walked around and said he was the best receiver in the league for at least a good 6-7 years straight.
Yep. So my brother's my wide receiver coach, Willis Marshall. Again, he lived in Detroit for a while. We lived on 6 Mile in Greenfield when he 8 years older than me. But he went to Bernie. He went to Brother Rice as well, young Sound State just like me. But he played like 11 years professional football though. So he played wide receiver. So again, that's my wide receiver coach. And he been coaching Tashi since he was a freshman. His nickname for Tashi as a freshman was Bambi, because every time Tashi caught the ball, he fell. Like, like a kid that's just not strong yet. Like whatever catch he made, he was trying so hard to concentrate, he would catch and fall. And so he like, Bambi, watch you. If there's no defense around you, but he was so like he was young. You know what I'm saying? But I've never seen a wide receiver work on his craft and work on his weaknesses as much as Tashi Braceville. We knew he was special, which is why we had him on varsity as a freshman, because we wanted to coach him. We didn't want nobody else to touch him. We wanted to hone him into the receiver he is today. But his work ethic, bro. He's super humble. All he did was put in work. Tashi had a messed up ankle. People don't know that. We would go to Tashi during the week. He hurt his ankle. First playoff game versus Dearborn Fortson. Second play of the game, we threw a post route to him, like 50-yard gain. Dude tackled him from behind. So you got tackled behind, you roll your ankle up. So he was lightweight done that entire game versus Dearborn Fortson. Just kept rehabbing, came back, played the rest of the playoffs on that bum ankle. But he got a lot of heart. He's strong. Tashi is also one of them once, in every 10-year type receivers. And him and Isaiah chemistry is what makes it so great. They've been playing against the Southfield Falcons, literally since kids. So when I'm telling you, he know when Isaiah ready to throw the ball. It's like he look at the perfect time, and Isaiah know when to throw it because he know Tashi about to look. Their chemistry is amazing. But Tashi Braceville work ethic, bro, is 100% why he's so good.
That is evident when they play.
Yes.
Me being a quarterback, I sit on the sideline always say, Tashi has high football IQ.
That's it.
Because when Isaiah has to break contain, he comes back to the ball. And every time I don't see a receiver do that, I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you still running your route and your quarterback is struggling? Come back to the ball.
Yeah.
It's a wide open gap somewhere in that defense.
Yes.
Find it so y'all can convert. And y'all do that better than anybody in Michigan.
And I'm going to tell you something. There's nobody that argues more in practice than Tashi and Isaiah because they're like brothers. Like, it's the realest chemistry in the world. Like, me and my brothers argue every day, right? So it's literally Isaiah do something in practice, and Tashi be like, get the ball up. You know what I mean? and Isaiah like, no, you got to defend on your back. I said it right. We don't interject. We don't say nothing because we know on Friday night it's going to all be like music. It's going to come together, and it's going to be the best thing. When I'm telling you on the same page, they both know each other expecting. It's awesome. And honestly, Xavier Bowman's the same way. Yeah. Isaiah and Xavier are playing since Falcons.
Since the Falcons.
It's the same way. If you turn on that Falcons highlight tape, Isaiah throwing Xavier so much. His nickname was Megatron.
Yeah, he was a problem on the Falcons.
Bro.
I was on the sideline for them games recording back in them days. Man.
Listen. Him and Xavier got the same chemistry. So, again, that's why the receiving core is the best in the state. But the reason, or part of the reason, is because they chemistry with each other, right? Nobody's selfish. We can go a game where Tashi get 3 touchdowns, Savi get none, Jawan get none, and they the first one to go celebrate with each other. And you can flip it. This person got some, nobody got none. Ain't nobody tripping. Like that's the beautiful thing about it. We got a real senior-led group that's very unselfish, and it's everything. It's only one football, bro, right? So some games, this dude might have the bum on him. We're going to keep feeding him until they switch off, right? And so he might get 3 touchdowns because this dude that's checking him ain't that guy. But you got the guy on you. So why are we, right? We ain't trying to, again, force nothing. So they all get that, man, and it's a beautiful thing when it come together.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Tashi, he definitely, he was a dog on the field, 10 for 152.
That's it.
And then, Bowman, getting him from Brother Rice, that was a huge pickup, like you said, because of that chemistry with him and Zeke. And you know what I'm saying? That's another receiver for him to rely on when he in trouble.
Yeah.
And Bowman, he had, some pretty big catches too in that championship game. He had
and semifinal.
Yeah, for sure. Semifinals for sure.
Man.
I'm happy you said that because that catch where he, it was real physical. The refs let him play. So West Bloomfield, don't complain. Your corner was fighting too. Bowman just was a stronger receiver. He mossed him. It was a highlight. And at that time, the refs got to let y'all play. And your receiver made the play. You know what I'm saying? Your quarterback put it up and he made the play. And it's just like you said, man, having him in that chemistry is great, man.
Yeah.
But what was it like? Steph can speak on that too, but what was it like tossing your nephew, in the fire as a freshman, man?
Man, as a freshman, so our goal was to keep him healthy, right? So, you watch him, he ain't run nowhere near as much as he runs now, back when he's a freshman. And he put up some really good numbers in freshman. Freshman was a COVID year. So I think he only played like 6-7 games that year. Yeah. And he put up some pretty decent numbers. And it's funny, man, I tell these people the story all the time. Coach Pop will always say when I brought him on board, Isaiah's sophomore year, because Coach Pop been training Isaiah since he was like 10, 11 years old.
Okay.
It's at quarterback training. So when I brought Pop over, I told him, I said, we got a really special quarterback, as you know. I think we can win it all. And, Pop would be like, he just looked at me like, okay, let's see what we got. And so, we at practice, we doing things, and he'd be like, man, wait till he becomes a senior. He would, like, just say that to me. And so I'm like, y'all would get frustrated, like, man, I want to win now. What you mean, like, wait till become a – but even though as great as he was, the full maturation process didn't really hit Isaiah to his junior year. So Pop point was like when he becomes an upperclassman and really understands certain things and timing, and when the game truly slows down for him, he said, Aaron, we about to have the best quarterback in the state. He would say that. And again, me being hungry and selfish, I'm like, we can do that now. Like, coach him up. Right. In my butt. Pop did such a phenomenal job in bringing him along. And then when Isaiah broke 200 pounds, and shout out to Stan Edwards, by the way. Let me tell y'all a little secret, bro. So Stan Edwards has been our track coach the last 3 years.
Coach Stan and Naja Floyd, that's my homegirl, you know what I mean?
And they've been our track coach the last 3 years. When Isaiah started running track freshman year at Southfield, the good thing about Stan is a football guy and a track guy. So he knows how to train football players for track. He trains them different than a guy that's only a track guy, right? Like Isaiah needs this, because football's his main sport. Isaiah is 208 pounds and runs a 10.8, 10.9 100 meter. That's Stan Edwards, right? Along with whatever training he was doing on the side. When Isaiah realized, damn, I'm fast, it was over. And that was his junior year. So you saw the stats and you saw the 8-3 record. And so now, in his eyes, I can't be stopped. So I drop back the pass. If nothing's there, I'm taking off. And I'm taking off for a big gain. Like, it's not just like a, you know what I'm saying? Like, so again, just having that in the 208, the reason I bring up the 208 part is he's durable.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Yeah, 22
right?
carries.
There you go.
22 carries.
Right? So, but
you don't want to know a quarterback 22 times.
Right? Never. And he ain't going out of bounds.
Yeah.
You got to tell me a time he slid.
No,
And he a thick kid.
Now, he might run out every now and then and be smart, but he ain't sliding now.
Yeah, he not built like Bryce Young. He built like, more like
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
That's it.
That's what I call him all the time.
He
Russell
always
Wilson.
call it, man.
Yeah, Russell,
See, that's what I
yeah.
always say,
Yeah.
What he doing that backfield is prime Russell Wilson. Like, he wasn't doing that, like, he was doing it maybe a little bit junior year, but that escape spin he do,
No doubt.
man, he killed every kid in the state, man. He had every kid eating dirt this year off
That's
the
it,
same move. And I kept saying it, like, on our post, like, he gonna keep killing y'all with the same move? And, I mean, all he could do was, like, put fire by, because it's just like, man, like,
That's it.
And I don't know, man. That's
and
tough.
then when Belleville ended up adjusting to the spin.
They did.
Cass did too.
Yeah.
So when they adjusted the spin, Pop told him, now step up.
Step up, yeah.
It was the most simple fix.
Yeah.
And so watch the game. Like, rewatch the game versus Belleville. He's spinning. He spent. They was on him. Then he started stepping up and getting loose.
He was killing on both ways. Because
Yeah.
he was killing on one, like you said, stepping up, but getting the ball, like beating the blitz.
sure.
He
Yes.
was finding the hot man, beating the blitz.
100%.
That's one of the things I can tell when a quarterback is getting coached and a quarterback is not getting coached.
Yeah.
Because if you coaching a quarterback up and you count the box and you know somebody coming, then you and your receiver already know, just fill the void. I don't care what the play was to beat the blitz.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because the play is off at this point.
Yeah.
Or the play has changed at this point.
Yeah.
Be smart enough to find out, help me out, I got you.
Agreed.
But as a quarterback, you got to sit in there, get hit, punch in the mouth to
sure.
make that pass. Zeke take that every time and make the completion. Like, so what? Do it again. I'm 208. Do it again.
Right.
You
And
ain't seen no
that's it.
quarterback like me. Do it again. Come
That's
on.
it. It's his training,
on.
man.
Yeah.
I forget the guy he trained with, man, for a while. He's trained with a lot. He's trained with John Vickers. He's trained with my man out of Novi. I forget his name, man, and I want to give him his props. But again, that strength conditioning training Isaiah's been doing, along with, you know what I'm saying, Isaiah's speed training, with Coach Stan Edwards. So he's done so much to prepare his body for those moments, you know what I'm saying, and being, again, our strength conditioning coach, James Cooks at Southfield, prepared our entire team. There has not been a game that we've been in this year where we were not stronger and more in shape than the team. Not one. Not one game that we've been in this year where we watched the other team's O-line, D-line, linebackers, DBs, hands on their hips, and ours weren't. And that's something we feed off of, right? Like, You know, we real big on cardio. We real big on being in shape. And again, we might not be the biggest. I don't really know in the playoffs who we were bigger than.
Yeah.
Belleville was bigger than us. Cass was bigger than us. West Bloomfield bigger than us. Dearborn Fortune was bigger than us. But when we fired that ball and we got that strength, but nobody was stronger than us. I'm telling you, turn on the tape. Watch the line of scrimmage get moved. On both defense, we pushing you in the back. Offense, we pushing you forward. I mean, it's strength. And again, Coach Cook's our strength conditioning coach. Shout out to him. He a different breed. And I stole this from what's my man in Clemson, Dabo Sweeney. Dabo Sweeney said you can watch all the tape you want. This is when he had beat Alabama, I think it was, the national championship.
Yeah,
or wherever they beat.
He also had Deshaun Watson that year.
He did. right. Flat out animal. But he said you can watch all the tape you want and you can prepare for the X's and O's, but you can never prepare for who we are because you don't know us. Right? And that's what I tell people. Our practices are the most competitive practices I've ever seen in high school in my life. I've ended practice early many times. Like, these dudes is about to kill each other. What I know as a football coach and as a football player, the more you compete, the better you are. We compete so much in practice, it's unbelievable. So when I knew on Friday night, we can just sit back and watch the show. Because if you're going to take your boy head off, I know you about to, you know what I'm saying? So, again, man, it's these seniors and the way they set the tempo and set the tone, our off-season workouts, our 6 a.m. workouts, our practices. We knew we'd be here as long as we kept, and did the little things like we were supposed to.
Before we start talking about you, man, you talk about y'all fight. Man, y'all had like a 5'5" lineman or something like that, 5'6".
Yeah, we did.
What's his name, man?
Ahmad.
Man, shout out to Ahmad because he represent the fight that y'all had.
Yes.
To step up at that size in the OAA and hold his own,
yeah,
it means something, man.
We started him versus Cass week 1. He literally like 5'6", 5'5".
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I remember seeing
we started him.
I was looking at him, I'm like, dog got a lot of heart. Nothing else. You got a lot of heart.
Man, for sure. In the OAA, man.
That's it, man. But again, it's who we are. Like again, you can prepare for everything else, but you don't know who we are because you're not in our day-to-day drills, our practices, our workouts. Ahmad is a technician. He's just small.
Yeah.
Right? So he's not gonna hold the block for long, but he's gonna hold the block for the first 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Right? But he gonna get overpowered by a big dude coming through with technique.
But he's gonna be where he's supposed to be.
He's gonna be exactly where he's supposed to be. And he'd rather get ran over than miss the block.
For sure.
So you gotta go through him. Right?
That's what I noticed, and you need that on your team. You need people that's, might not got the size, but they got that dog in him because, the team feed off stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I love when I play on the O-line to have somebody that size trying to kill you.
That's it.
I be telling the coach, give me the trap block. So
Little Salt, rest in peace, Salters, man. That was my guard, man. Salters wasn't big at all, but Salters had this way of, he'd give up a sack. And I couldn't get mad at him. He'd come back to the huddle and make a joke. Man, my bad, man. I'm sorry. I tried to get him stuff.
He tried, man. He was trying to get
I know you did, big bro. I know you did. I know you
Yeah.
tried, bro. Like, that's the things to bring teams closer together. And, speaking of that, I said earlier, you remind me of like a Mike Tomlin type of coach. You know what I mean? Where I seen you turn on and turn off, right? But do just enough to where they respond. And, know when to pull on, know when to back off, so to speak.
Sure.
And kids respond to that. And today it's very hard to do.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people realize how hard it is to get the kids to respect you because they know. They can tell the real from the fake. They know off the top. Where'd that come from? What's your coaching influences? What even got you into coaching in the first place?
Yeah, so I played, man, with a phenomenal program at Mount Carmel, Chicago. Shout out to Mount Carmel, who won the state championship again this year. That's like 13 or 14 for him or something crazy. And Frank Lenny was my head coach, right? And that's how he was. He never raised his voice till he had to. He kind of honestly inspired me to, when I got done playing, to want to get into coaching. He had a mental way to get you to buy in. Right, it was almost like witchcraft or something. I don't really know what it was like, but we was so bought in. We played so many games in high school at Mount Carmel, and I tell my team this today, where we were not riddled with D1 players. We wasn't, the biggest, the fastest, the strongest every game, but we was the most disciplined, and we literally would die for the dude next to us. And that was a head coach that got us that way. So when you got a real brotherhood and you got a true fight for the guy next to you. And I tell the team too, one of my homeboys in the Army, And I went to him and I told the story a few times, and I'm like, because we just the war, they got our troops going over there to help out, you know what I mean? And so I talked to him. This was about 3 months ago, and I'm like, hey, let's say you got called over there. You know what I mean? Like, what you thinking? Like, what's on your mind so you come back home? He said, yeah, I'm not really thinking about myself. He said, I got to do my job so my boy don't get killed. And he said, my boy got to do his job so I don't get killed. He said, so honestly, when we doing our thing and we in combat, I'm thinking about him because if I don't do me the right way, he gonna die, right? And he said same with him. Like he got my back, I got his back, and it worked all the way down. And so I said, man, that's phenomenal. I'm gonna use that with my boys. And really that's been like, our playoff philosophy is do your job so your boy don't get killed, right? So whether you a lineman, do your job so the quarterback don't get killed, right? Whether you, a safety, dropping your third so your DB don't get killed. Right, if you a linebacker, dropping your hook curl so your DB don't get killed. Like, it's literally like a do your job so your boy don't get killed. So that philosophy kind of really stuck with us, and it's been great, man, for real.
Going back to this merger of Lathrop A&T.
Yeah.
What is Lathrop A&T? It is Lathrop and it is Southfield, right?
Yeah.
Or Southfield A&T, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I can't think of a better person fit to head off and lead not only this football team, but this community too, because being a coach is more than just leading your football team. You in the school.
Yeah.
So you dealing with issues in the school too.
No doubt.
And right now there's a lot of issues in the school. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of issues in the community. There's a lot of issues with, kids of that age group between 14 to 18.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or 13 to 17, however you want to put high school. How do you take on the responsibility as being, you Coach Marshall, but you coach Marshall in the classroom, in the hallways, and on 10 mile at the gas station or 12 mile at the Target too. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Right.
I love it, man, and I don't think that we would be as successful if I wasn't in the school. And the reason I say that is, being, there to have an influence, over the kids, because this is my passion, right? Coaching is a bonus. I love being in the school more than I love coaching, to keep it a buck with you, to keep it all the way honest with you. I love my job in the school more than I love coaching because you get to see a difference. And, back to that, the little things, our motto, for me to build relationships with the students and for me to show them a different way, right? Or for me to give them a skill set they may not have had, right? We're dealing with a lot of COVID year students who, was at home for 2 years and came back to school and, dealing with a lot of stuff. And a lot of things happened during those 2 years. So my job in the school and able to kind of, meet with these students from all different backgrounds and girls and boys and different grades and being able to pull them in with all the issues they have. My title is Student Support Coordinator, right? So I deal with any non-academic issue a kid may have. So that's, if you're homeless, I try to find you shelter. If you're hungry, I try to find you food. You ain't got clothes, I can get you clothes. You need tutoring, I can get you tutoring. So I deal with so much from a holistic and a life sense of the students, that's my true passion, my true calling. And then coaching is a bonus because all that goes hand in hand in my book, right? I sit down with my football players and we talk. Like, they know and that's another thing when it comes to buy-in. My players know that the entire coaching staff really care about them. Like, there's nothing my players cannot call me for. I get calls at 2 a.m. with players having issues at home. Coach, my mama this, or this happened, or whatever. I'm dealing with this, and I'm struggling. I'm like, come see me at 8 a.m. This is non-football related, nothing to do with football. Come to my office and knock on my door. We're gonna have a long conversation about life, right? About making decisions, about choices. And so again, having those relationships, again, and that's why I say we wouldn't be that successful if I wasn't there, because they trust me. So I have to be careful as the coach of what I say, because they're gonna latch on to every single word that I tell them because I know them on a personal level, right? So again, it's a blessing to be in this position, and shout out to the school district for hiring me in that position, because I use it to the advantage for sure.
Is there a nonprofit some people can donate to, or how do people contribute? Because in public schools, that's always been a problem, right? Those issues, the public school, everybody thinks is just supposed to handle those issues.
Right.
But the school district ain't got, if y'all don't show up on count day, they only got so much money to help these kids that he talking about. Wake up, y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So With that being said, is there any support groups or nonprofits, anything affiliated with you all that if people want to contribute and help out, who do they hit up?
So you can always help the school, right? And the school can definitely take donations, I'm sure, of anybody that wants to assist. And what I think is even better than that is time. Like good brothers like y'all that's doing positive stuff in the community, saying, Aaron, let me come through. You know, give me 6 or 7 of your troubled youth and let's sit down, let me talk to them. Let me tell them my story, right? Let me tell them what I know. You know, we do this thing that Coach Conley started where every Wednesday we keep it going. We bring in a successful black man and tell me your journey. So this dude might be in pharmaceutical sales. He might be a doctor. He might own a car dealership. He might do whatever, but he's a successful man who's sat in the same seat you sat in and gonna tell you your struggles so you don't make the same mistakes, right? And so things like that is huge for our youth. When they see it, they can believe it. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we do at Southfield, man, that's really huge. But I would rather you bring your time. Like the money thing is one thing, don't get me wrong, we'll take it, but I'd rather you come volunteer and mentor. That's what we need. You can't never have enough mentors.
Yeah, that's huge. Remember when we was playing, it was kind of more built in organically for us.
Yeah.
Because all my old dude players would come back. Like whether they was in the league or college, they would all come back with us.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like they would just, we spent all of our summers, before 7-on-7 became a big thing like how it is now, 7-on-7 was only at certain universities for the tournament. You only play like 4 or 5 tournaments for the summer, be over with, and then you go back, get ready for camp, whatnot.
Right.
Lathrop was like St. Cecilia is the basketball was pick up 7-on-7. You know what I mean? Braylon Edwards, Jeremy Orr, Larry Foote, everybody is out there on the off season. I'm talking about even the winter time.
Yeah.
I ain't open up presents on Christmas Day. Yeah. Trail them said we playing 7-on-7.
You gone.
I'm out there. The old dudes in town, we get out there with them. And they spend time with us after that, so it was a little bit more organic. But yeah, I hear you. So what you saying, anybody out there that's affiliated, you know, that works with kids or whatnot, got something positive to give them, and share your experiences. You know, come share your experience, spend your time with the kids.
For sure.
Man, I for sure want to come holler at the Southfield kids, you feel me? Because I got a story for them for sure, you feel me? So I could definitely tap in with you. We could do that, man. But, I mean, shout out to Debo's, you know. We in here, you know. Shout out to the city of Southfield, you know. I think they got a coaching staff, you know, that's, you know, one of the best in the state for the high school. We got the great Aaron Marshall here now. He a legend in the city. The last name Marshall, you know. It reigns supreme now in the city of Southfield. Zeke the king of Southfield.
Hey, know? Man, I told y'all that it was match. Years ago. I'm glad it took on. Y'all looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, I don't watch this boy do magic. This is that game-winning stuff that, you know, lives on ESPN Classic with Zeke and the Bad Boy Pistons or Magic Johnson, no pun intended, him and Bird going back and forth and all that. Zeke do that every week. So I'm like, he Magic. Yeah, now he brought the first ring home. You and your nephew and your brother as well, because he's on the coach staff as well.
No doubt.
Honestly, I'm going to tell the whole city of Southfield, we just going to act like we down south somewhere. So imagine you in Alabama or Texas or something, and your little high school brought home the championship. Treat them like y'all would down south, because down south, when somebody do this, they royalty forever. They get a car dealership, they free at the bar everywhere they go for the rest of their life. They can go to the Walmart and sit in the parking lot and sign autographs to your grandma. Well, the bar they're gonna be at is gonna be Debo's, where you can get fried chicken wings, fried catfish. I mean, you know, they ain't gotta pay, but y'all gotta pay. And it's on Northwestern. And, you know, it's kind of like south of 12 Mile. You're going to see it. It's big off Northwest. I think it's a Tim Hortons somewhere in here. But we ain't going to Tim Hortons. We're going to Debo's. You're going to Debo's, spend your money at Debo's. That's where the Marshalls is going to be at. And you're going to be able to see royalty and greatness live in action. And, you know, if, you know, they hanging, you know, don't bother them too much. But, you know, come up and say hi, say congratulations. Yeah. We definitely appreciate it because you did something for us. Whether we had this podcast or not, bro, we Falcons. Like, we went to Lathrop.
For sure.
He a Falcon. He went to Southfield, Vince, you know what I mean? Him like yourself went, bounced back, you know what I mean? Went to St. Mary's first, like my boy Omari did too. Realized, you know, need to come home. Come on home. See what happens when you come home? You get a ring. When you come home, you get a ring. You know, all the Falcons out there.
No doubt. And, hey, speaking of the Falcons, man, big shout out. Man, we got countless Falcons, part of that 29 senior class I told you about. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to try to name them all, man, with this class. Man, it's going to be tough. Isaiah Marshall, Tashi Braceville, Xavier Bowman, Mauricio Clayton. Who else is a Falcon, man? Jordan Melton, number 15, is starting strong safety. Also a junior coming back, Falcon. Reggie Gardner, Falcon.
58.
Yep. Marcus Bowler, number 55, the nose tackle that played all game. Sophomore, Falcon.
He a dog, too.
He played Little League last year.
Okay.
He played 14U Falcons last year.
Wow.
Starting the entire year on varsity. The starting tackle, number 75, Aiden Redding,
big
Falcon.
dog?
Big dog, sophomore.
Yeah, he huge.
Coming back. Sophomore coming back. So, again, man, I hope I ain't missed nobody. But we got a lot of Falcons on our team, man. Shout out to the Falcons. And what it is the coaching. We know when we get a Falcon, they coached up, right? So we kind of look at it different, honestly, because they're going to be ready to play.
Yeah.
You ain't got to reteach certain basic, techniques and certain things, fundamentals, because they come out there, they come with it. It's the best organization, man. I hate it. It hurt coming out my mouth.
Hey,
It hurts very bad. Yeah, it hurts.
Hey,
It hurts.
you hear that, right?
It hurts.
Shout out to all the Jayhawks. Y'all
It
heard
hurts.
it here.
No. Jayhawks, don't get it twisted. It's just
Y'all
because we're
know
not
what it
around no
is.
more.
Y'all know what it is.
It's because we're not around. But honestly, man, the Falcons is absolutely the best in the Midwest.
Yeah, for
top whatever in the country.
Yeah.
And the numbers don't lie, bro.
They don't lie.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, I seen some stuff. Y'all nationally ranked now.
Yeah.
What's your expectations for next year, man?
Huge, man, because we're bringing them big boys back. I mean, we lose Reggie Gardner for sure. And it's tough. That's going to be a tough shoes to refill, but I'm hoping Marcus Bowler, the sophomore D tackle, is going to be just like him. So when I talked to the coach from the Falcons who coached Reggie and Marcus, I said, what am I going to get in Marcus? He said, you're getting Reggie 2.0. I said, okay. So, again, Marcus started as a sophomore the entire, so hopefully he progressed. But Marcus got to have that same work ethic Reggie had. Reggie's a workaholic. Reggie's the strongest heel on the team, and it's all because his work. So Marcus got to adopt that same work ethic on and off the field, got to get his grades tight like Reggie do. And I think we can have a Reggie 2.0, right, as long as Marcus do what he's supposed to do. But the future's bright at Southfield, man. We got a couple young quarterbacks in the stable that Pop is training. Tough to replace Isaiah for sure. But, again, because we're bringing a lot of big boys back, I feel good.
I ain't got nothing to say, man. It's a great interview, man. It's a great interview, man. Thank you for coming out.
Appreciate y'all for having me, man. Hey, I want to say thank y'all. Listen to me. I sit in bed at night, me and my wife. The game started at 7. It ended at about 9:30, 10, depending on whatever. I let the boys go. We come to Debo's after the game. We in bed by about midnight. I go to my phone, and y'all already got highlights posted. Listen to me. And it become a thing where I'm upset if it's not, because y'all like microwave. Like y'all get to it so fast and it's edited perfectly. I'm like, man, these dudes is 24/7 with it. So I don't know nobody like that.
It's the road runner, man.
Bro,
Shout
out to Vince.
Hey,
I don't
man.
know nobody that does what y'all do. That turnaround is that fast.
Vince is the hardest working man in high school sports. We get mad at him because he get put too much basketball highlights up, which I love it. But we was still in football season, my dog. But Vince Hicks, Southfield alum, Falcon.
No doubt. Shout out to him, man.
Yeah,
he the GOAT with this. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, man.
It happens so fast. And the boys love it. They reposting. It's great, man.
We got a dream team, man.
Yes, you do, for sure.
Shout out to the team, man.
No doubt.
Hey, see, you don't even got to once ball is over, you just join that Athlazon team. You know what I'm saying? Get with the winners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, for sure, man. We appreciate you, man.
Thank y'all.
It's the player exchange with Aaron Marshall, Steph Thompson, Don, Merle, you feel me? Shout out to Debo's like we said, man. Catch y'all next time.